kick it, flick it, go the distance. Outside the box, not afraid to be different. Listen, it's Will John going long, trying to be rich, hard work pays off.
Alright guys, we got a special one for you today. We got Cristiano, Messi, Neymar, Mbappe, Robin, all of them, and more smashed into this one. And on top of that, we got training sections in there that are going to teach you how to practice these moves so you can ball out in the game. And we want to thank all of you guys that have been around for so long, that supported the channel, and all you new guys, please do us a huge favor and click the subscribe button and that bell notification button, because it's going to allow us to create more great content for you guys. Let's go. This skill is great because you can pull it off when it looks like you have nowhere to go and no chance of beating a defender. There's some very popular clips of Messi doing this against Scholes and Nani, so make sure to check out how he does them in real games to understand it even better. Generally, while doing this move, he goes to the defender incredibly slowly. Sometimes he's completely stopped. The reason it still works is because of the change of pace and direction. That's the key behind this skill. It's a bit of a longer fake left, drop the head and shoulder, and he croquetas out. Our boy Ronaldo's tourney didn't last as long as some people thought it would, but he still had time to throw in a few dope moves and sick goals. And as far as I'm concerned, this one flew under the radar, but it's a feint followed by a step over, and not just a simple one. This is the type of step over that Mr. Ronaldinho loved to throw in the corner. Get yourself set, basically to a standstill, throw a body feint to one side, and on the way back, take a touch with the inside of your foot and quickly step around the ball. The move will be more fluid and have more of an effect if you pause to stop before throwing the body feint. If you stop, the defender will as well. He threw this out in the middle of the field, but it's obvious that if you're just outside the box, this is going to give you more than enough space to smack off a shot and put the ball away. Guys, this move is done in 3 parts, but if you want to set yourself up for success, you need to pay attention to a few things. This move is designed to create space, enough time to get off a shot or a cross. Now, if the defender decides to dive in, you may just blow right past him, so use it in the right areas. If you want the move to be more effective, it's best to take the defender on at an angle. So notice that when I take this touch here, it's towards the left to allow me to snap the ball back to the right and run into space. So if I'm looking to get off a right-footed shot, this is perfect. Not only have you created space, but you've got momentum behind you as you go to take the shot. We are getting straight into dissecting one of the most legit 1v1 players of all time. And step overs weren't too much of his style. He had an ability to get around defenders using body feints and misdirection. Check this first move, which seems like nothing more than just flicking the ball to one side. So much setup goes on to make this successful. First, your speed. It won't work if you go slow. The reason for this is that you need to force the defender to choose. Go at them slow, and you can forget it. Next, notice that from the beginning we go straight, and then we take a touch out at an angle as if that's where we're headed. This is key. First we build up speed, then we take a touch towards the left or right, and now a simple flick that comes from our hip and the snapping of our ankle. If you can do these things, you're gonna cause problems for a defender. Check Maradona's goal in the 1986 World Cup against Belgium to see a perfect example of how it's done. We actually kick things off with a nutmeg. Our boys at PSG, Neymar, and Mbappe can be found pulling this off all the time. You've got to be quick on your feet and ready to react to a defender closing you down. You may be surrounded in the middle of the field or off to the side, but nearly all attacking players need to have quick feet to get out of tough situations. So watch as we might be protecting the ball, dancing, and then finally we turn to face up the defender who thinks that now is the time to make his move. The ball comes out in front of us like bait, and as the defender approaches, we drag in with one foot and quickly tap it through or even around his legs and move quickly to get around him. Any move that can get you out of position when you're moving backwards with the ball is priceless. With a quick change of pace, even with your momentum heading backwards, you can dangle the ball out in front of them, and then it's a quick 1-2 and you're out and off to goal. Practice the steps over and over, and come game time, you'll be ready. Januzaj pulled this off in a game against England, and it's a sick way to get off a cross or shot. Once again, your shoulders gotta drop. You've gotta believe in the feint yourself or it won't work. Once the move is executed, get the shot off because the defender will without a doubt be on his way back to recover. Take a few touches right at your defender and then open up your hips a little bit and drag the ball across your body. Instead of letting it go all the way across, you drop your shoulders, you flip the ball back out where you came from, and then you whip it in. You have to recognize the right situation for this. If a defender is rushing in, then you can forget about it. The best time to throw this out is when the defender simply wants to contain you. If he's dropping off, then sharp movements from side to side are going to be your only options for getting them off balance. And that's the most important thing you can take away from this move. Train, train, train. If you want to be better, you have to get yourself good repetitions at game speed. So put in the work if you want the results. This one actually has the same principles as the first move. Your goal is still to create space, but the big difference here is that instead of showing the defender the ball, we keep it protected the entire time. It's technically less risky because the ball is going behind you instead of in front of you. You will always have your body between the defender and the ball. You can do this move two ways: in one fluid motion by stepping over the ball, tapping it, and then knocking it with your heel, or you can do a step over to freeze them and make the second part a combo. Your own personal style and the game will dictate what's best. Now, most of you are going to be expecting the Maradona roulette, which of course has its uses, but before that, it's worthwhile to talk about how crazy sick his shielding ability was. For not being a big guy, it was incredibly tough to get the ball off him, and that was because he understood the principle of putting as much distance between the ball and the defender as he could. We actually touched on this move in our top 5 moves for defenders, and it doesn't matter what position you play, it works, and that's all you care about. If you think you're going to beat the opposing player to the ball, first get your foot on the ball and then slam your body into the other guy. From there, the power is in your hands to lay it off, spin, or even shoot. Now, with the Maradona roulette, just realize that the same thing applies. If you want it to be effective, you have to recognize the right time to make it happen. Beat the player to the ball and get out. We've already done a full tutorial on the move, so check it out right down below. This is one of our favorite stepovers by far, and it can be done from a standing position as well as slightly on the run. It doesn't guarantee that you'll beat the defender, but it will definitely put them on the back foot, which is exactly what you want. You want to drag the ball from almost directly in front of you. The reason for this is that we want to keep our balance and weight in the front and on our toes so we can snap the ball back where we came from. That's the second part of the move, and even if you don't get the first part right, you can still save yourself by snapping with purpose and changing pace, which is generally the case with all moves, especially on the wing and in front of goal. The defender won't know when you'll explode, so always try to catch them off guard. And as we stress in all our videos, don't limit yourself to what you see here. Add and create as you learn. The chop can be done twice if the situation is right, or you can turn it into something different altogether. Push yourself to stay dynamic, and you'll bring more of your talent out for sure. Now this one is a bit more practical in the sense that you can learn it quickly and it can actually be pretty useful if you understand the right situation to use it in. With the defender rushing in on your back, get the ball under control, turn to face, and then look to flick the ball up and around. Notice that for the move to work, the first touch is actually a scoop and then a flick. Don't be afraid to use your body and hands to get around the defender. If you throw this one quick, it can definitely get you out of the corner. Don't make the mistake of trying to do this on a standing defender. It won't work. Make sure that defender is coming in strong, because that's when you'll actually be able to make something happen.
Okay, to start off, you need to take a touch to set yourself up for the Ronaldo chop. This is a really effective move to help you change directions quickly. When you take the touch to set yourself up, slightly jump while using your back foot to kick the ball, using the inside of your foot. Once you complete the Ronaldo chop, quickly transition to the CROQUETA. Roll the ball with the bottom of your boot, through your legs, and explode out. This will take a few times to get it right, but once you get the rhythm of the move down, you'll begin to see how effective this move is and how you can beat a defender in space. As you can see, if you have space at the top of the box, you can do this move and set yourself up for a shot with your strong foot. Practice this combo move 30 to 50 times so you can create muscle memory, and once you feel confident, make sure to give it a shot in a game. This move is all about changing direction. Make sure to practice this move at game speed. You cannot do this move slowly. The defender will crush you if you try to do this slowly. So work on it on your own, go slow. Build up the technique, go over the fundamentals, and when you feel confident, start working at this at game speed, running at defenders.
Expanding on the body feint, you guys might notice that sometimes he flicks the ball up in the air while doing this. The reason for that is simple. It's just flat out harder for the defender to swing at the ball when it's in the air. Once you guys get a hang of the body feint, it's time to start mastering it on the run. One thing to make that more effective is to really drive inside. Make the defender think he has to cut you off and use his momentum against him. Set up the cones one after another diagonally in front of the goal and make sure to attack the cones like you would a defender in real game. When you get around the last cone, look to whip one in. and don't forget to celebrate. Mbappe is one of the masters of getting out of tight spaces. This move is quick and effective. It's not hard to get down and it can be used anywhere on the field. And if you think you're going to beat the defender to the ball, you just grab it with your front foot and flick it behind you and out. It's simple, but you have to have great foot coordination and you also have to trust in your technique. The great thing about this move is that if it's done right, you can explode out to the other side with the ball protected completely. Look at the steps. Straight out to the ball, pull it back towards you, and then flick it behind you and go. It's the perfect move if you're light on your feet and very agile. Practice these steps alone first, and after a while, you'll notice that when the situation comes up in the game, you'll just automatically react, and that's exactly what we want. As you guys should know, Robin's another one of those lefties that loves to cut in on his left so much that we all know where he's going, and he still can't be stopped. So today, we're going to talk about why that's the case and what we can learn from him to improve our game. So on first glance, Robin's signature move looks so simple that you'd imagine it really wouldn't be that hard to stop. Of course, we all know that's not true. So notice the difference in the way we dribble up the defender, slightly on our toes and deceptively slow. All of this so we can react at a second's notice if the defender tries to dive in or to be ready to explode out. That's not to say that once you decide to go left, the defender is going to give up on the play, which is why you also need to be ready to cut and react to the defender. It's a dance that becomes easier each time you practice, but if your fundamentals aren't down, you'd be wasting your time. We're starting off with what is most likely Pogba's best attribute, his ability to shield and control the ball in tight space under pressure. And if there's only one thing you take away from this video, it should definitely be to improve on your shielding. The way Pogba puts his body between a man and the ball is key to how he's able to hold off so many defenders. His close ball skills are definitely helping him out, but if you can understand this principle, you can incorporate it into your game, and you ain't got to be 3,000 feet tall like him. Watch how we first feel for the defender. The more he struggles to reach for the ball, the more control we have over the situation. As they try to get around you, this gives you all the information you need on where the space is. This is of course not a problem when more than one defender comes to pressure you. Switch from one defender to the next using your body to shield and your quick feet to find the space that you just created. Really use your body, slam it into the defender, and keep the ball at a leg's distance as much as possible. If the ball's up under you, then the defender can hit it away and get you off balance. Stand your ground. They can't go through you, and if they do, it's a foul. And that's the vid, son. Give us a like, subscribe. Follow us on Instagram. Leave us a comment down below on what new players you want to see, what you want to check out. We will see you guys later. Peace.
So believe in yourself, work hard, train hard. That's a motto that's found. It's GOLUREMI'S, rocking out a KC, not afraid to take risks and